Okay, so the first quote is, yes, whites may be using you, but it's all to your advantage. That's page 300 in the book. And you guys write on that one?
Yeah, I did. Wasn't that Andre that was talking to Johannes about being let into one of the white tournaments? I think it was Andre.
It says it's helmet.
Oh, okay, yeah, because I wasn't exactly sure which friend it was.
Yeah, he's saying that he complains about lacking competition, and he wants to go to American universities, but if he doesn't get white people to help him with that, he's not going to be able to go to America. And he says, like, it's in your best interest for you to let white people use you, I guess. Yeah.
Because, like, at that time in South Africa, like, they were trying to make sports seem more integrated racially, and, like, it would look good for this tournament for them to have, like, a prime black player, because it would make it seem like the sports were becoming more integrated. And so, yeah, it would give Johannes that opportunity to be scouted and to have...
Yeah.
But then at the same time, at home, he would be like, you know, he was being harassed, he was getting sentenced to, like, he was getting sent death threats because everyone thought he was, like, a traitor.
Right. And yeah, I think it was the result of that tournament that led him to be banned from the black tennis community. I was wondering, do you guys think that what do you guys think that Steve Biko would have to say about Johannes letting himself being used, even if it was to his advantage?
I think he probably would have said it was kind of selfish, because instead of standing up to these white people and telling them that he's better than letting them use him, he's going along with it in order to get himself where he thinks he wants to go, instead of standing up and doing it for the greater good. Even though it could get a black person in the higher power in a better place.
He's not doing any bad he's not doing bad to black people by doing it. He's just not doing any good. So.
Well, these black people that are sending him death threats and calling him traitor seem to think so.
But I think you have to get on top somehow. So I mean, if all of a sudden he just like turns around and walks away just because he doesn't want to have to like talk to him, like have to deal with white people, that could totally jeopardize his whole entire career.
Yeah, but what I was saying is that Biko probably wouldn't applaud the efforts of someone trying to get themselves better.
Oh yeah, he wouldn't at all.
Yeah.
But at the same time, you kind of
definitely,
you have to risk it.
I agree.
But like that.
But also, like, this, because Johannes could be using this, like, furthering his career as a tool to help his community as well. So I wonder if people would have seen that.
Okay, should we move on to the next one? Does anybody else have anything to say?
Yeah, it's
okay. So the next one is majority proved the more inquisitive of the two.
Marjorie.
And that was 309 in the book. Anybody write on that one?
I don't think so, no.
Did any of you guys write on it?
I didn't, but wasn't it Stan's wife?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, while Stan and Marjorie and Johannes are talking, it seems that Marjorie and Johannes get into more of the deeper topics about black life in South Africa and like everything that's going on, while Stan's kind of like standing by and just listening to it all. And he says, Johannes says that Marjorie's the one that kind of delved deeper into the more controversial topics.
Because she, like, was confused as to why the blacks didn't try to, like, fight against the system that oppressed them so much. And I think Johannes went on to explain that because, like, apartheid had, like, structured these laws so much around, like, blacks not being able to rise up against the system.
Alright, let's just go to this one then. I copied it down and read it over and over again, as one would read a favorite poem or passage from the Bible. That's 343 of the book.
Yeah, when he's talking about the Declaration of Independence.
I think so. Yeah. Oh wait, no.
Yes, it is.
Can't find it. Wait, Henry, did you read on it? Write on it?
I read it, but I didn't write on it. Basically, he like went to read about like American culture before he was going to America, and he like was like really impressed by how like in their Declaration of Independence, like they said all men are created equal.
Yeah. He's like thinking about how things are so different in the American society, and like,
Well, it's kind of funny because, like, even though things are, yeah.
Because it says that all people are held equal.
Look at what this kid, the fourth of the crowd. The fourth of the crowd.
Get it all. No.
Henry's great question.
343.
The Declaration. Keep on chugging.
Steinhardt leaves and
it's
all
both.
hell.
Oh, we
Anyway,
He's talking about the Constitution and the
Yeah,
Declaration.
it's
all the
both.
same shit. Well, it's kind of funny that he, like,
Hey guys,
it's kind of funny that he like sees this part and he's like, okay, all men are created equal, and he's like, oh, things are so different here than what's in South Africa. But it's kind of funny because, like,
What's that fun?
the way Henry, go down. It's funny because, like, the same kind of stuff like happened in America at one point that happened in South Africa. Maybe like there wasn't exactly like as much slavery in South Africa as there was in America, or like slavery at all, I guess. But
it was both. people
blacks were
being
both
denied
oppressed. Like
their-
blacks were being oppressed in both areas,
Right.
like widely throughout the whole country.
Well, it was still probably about like 10 times better than it was under apartheid. So he probably thought it would just be like a more free place, you know.
Well, he
Yeah.
didn't really like have firsthand knowledge of what America was like at that time. But like his friends had been like his more affluent white friends in like the tennis clubs and stuff were like telling him like there was something similar to apartheid in America years back, and like I think it was Helmut who was telling him about the Holocaust because he hadn't known about that before, and like I think it kind of here like comes back to the Constitution because both times it was like people being denied their basic human rights.
You still think there's sort of like that separation between like Africans and whites in America?
Oh.
There definitely is in South Africa still.
Yeah, I definitely think there is a separation. I just don't think it's to the extent of the apartheid.
Yeah.
Because here, like, there's definitely the thought that white people tend to be more like successful, and there's ghettos in South Africa and there are ghettos here, and we're in cities. There's really segregated areas, and these like people don't really get out of them. You just live your whole life there.
I think one of the differences between now and then too is like I think here there's more of a varying degree of there's definitely more of a varying degree of like discrimination that goes on here. Like it's more tailored to situation, I think, or like happenstance, sort of, more than like such a broad governmental policy.
What do you mean, like, people won't go out of their way to, like, discriminate against blacks, but, like, if it comes around, they will?
No, what I mean is like
I mean, not blacks in general, but any other ways.
well, I think that here, like, it definitely depends on like there are differences in it, like, depending on where you live or, like, the situation, more so than there, where there was, like, this broad policy.
Yeah, okay. Because, like, I guess, like, the way that we see, like, I guess this, like, a really easy example of this is probably like if you think about like the South or something. There's still like a lot of like kind of groups, and there's still a lot of like discrimination against African Americans, especially in the South, and against Latinos also, especially. But then also in places like where we live right now, I think there's a lot more like tolerance to that kind of racial. There's a lot more racial like I don't know the right kind of like phrase, but like racial tolerance, I guess, to like not act against people because of their race. I don't know.
You want to talk about the American dream question? Whether that's possible.
We have one more quote. Unless you have a way to connect it. Just wanted to- I wish I could somehow take it with me. That was on page 350. It's the very last page of the book.
Yeah, this is Johannes talking about bringing his brother George from South Africa to America. And he, like, what I got out of it was I felt that Johannes, because he had such an opportunity in America to go do something and get out of South Africa, he kind of felt like he owed George something, because he used what he had to get out. He felt bad that his younger brother had to live through this and was probably not going to get out.
He probably just feels bad for like because like Johannes went from like this like dirt poor like horrible way of living to now he's like in America and he's doing pretty well for himself. He's doing something that he likes, so he probably feels guilty having this kind of a life with his little brother doesn't get that.
Exactly.
And I mean, it's obvious that Johannes like looks out for his little brother, so that's probably why he really wants him there.
Yeah.
And I don't know. I think everybody kind of deserves like a chance in life like that, and I think that's the same way that Johannes is feeling right now. His brother never really got that chance.
Yeah.
To make something of himself and get out of the struggle that he was put into.
Do you think maybe that Johannes felt guilty that he like was the one that used his education and used the family's money to play tennis? And I guess maybe because he like used the family's money to play tennis, and I guess for the schools too. I guess having to like use other money, so like I guess they could only focus on just Johannes and not his little brother. Yeah.
I mean, I guess he does feel guilty, but like from my perspective, it either had to be one or the other, and it happened to be Johannes. So, and there's not really much you could do about it.
So this is a nice opportunity to transition into Henry's question about the American Dream. Why don't you guys bat that one around for about 5 minutes, and then we'll sub in your group.
Does anybody know like what the American Dream is? Can anybody define that?
That you're able to like accomplish whatever you want through hard work.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that's.
Do you think that Johannes, like everything was accomplished was because of his hard work, or did he just have like a lot of luck on his side?
I think it was a thing of both. I mean, he was working pretty hard with tennis and like a bunch of stuff like that. But
like I kind of think like his hard work allowed him to be put in positions in which he was able to get lucky. Being able to be at the ranch with the white people.
Yeah, so he got like he worked hard to like get to places, but that got him connections, which like let him be lucky to get him to places like going to America and playing tennis in America.
Like he worked hard to get those like opportunities.
Yeah.
Yeah. And if you like work hard to get those, I would consider that luck, because you're pretty much making your own luck, I guess.
Like taking fate into your own.
Were there moments when he was lucky?
Oh
yeah.
Definitely.
But
Such as?
Like
Meeting the. Sorry.
You can say it.
Well, one of them that's not like he could have been killed when he went to go retrieve those books.
Yep.
But he they didn't see him.
Or when
Right, a few times he could have been killed.
Yeah.
Or when that group of other kids his age like tried to gang up on him because they thought he was being white.
Mm-hmm.
or
Maybe that guy wouldn't have been his coach either.
Yeah.
Yeah, if that guy hadn't seen him playing.
Yeah.
If he hadn't gone to his grandma's house, they would have never given him his tennis racket that Clyde had, the hand-me-down. So